What is going on, guys? It's me, Severed7, and today we're going to be joining the Knights of the Round Table. That's right, we're playing Esper Knights. I am so excited about this list. I've been wanting to play Knights for a long time. I know it's kind of basically just humans, but I mean, it's Knights. Knights are awesome, man. So we're going to put it through 40 games, see how it does on the ladder. Let's get right into that deck list. Here we go, Esper Knights. Boy, am I excited about this. And what got me excited about it? Well, a lot of the stuff was already in standard, but I really liked Banner Kinship. It really reminds me of basically a colorless Joda for any creature type, and I love it. I also thought it was pretty cool that Elenda, Saint of Dusk, happens to be a knight. These Knight of Malice and Knight of Grace were already technically in Dominaria, but seeing them all, these are technically also reprinted in Foundations. So I have the Dominaria one. So if you go to make this deck, delete these out of your craft if you have them from Foundations. But I mean, they're just uncommons. Regardless, I love these guys. I love the whole First Strike and Hexproof from the color. They're like the dueling brothers, and I've just always thought that was a really cool theme, and it actually happens to be really good in standard right now, especially Knight of Malice. There's so much black removal in standard right now, and this card just bricks it. And you know what else bricks removal? Elenda, Saint of Dusk. She's so good against all the instant speed removal, all the burn spells. Like, it's just, she's amazing, and she has won me a lot of games. The only non-knight I'm playing in the list is Urtai Resurrected as a 2-of, just to have a way to counter board wipes, if you know, because a lot of times we just go knight, counter a board wipe and win. Like, it can be that simple. So we've got 4 Get Lost in the list as a way to just get rid of problematic enchantments. The reason I chose Get Lost, despite the fact that it makes map tokens, I would have chosen Go for the Throat or some other like Bitter Triumph or something like that that could hit creatures and planeswalkers. But I chose Get Lost because it can hit enchantments, which is really important against temporary lockdown. In Best of 1, almost every control deck plays temporary lockdown to deal with mono red, and being able to Get Lost this at the end of their turn and get all of our knights back is huge. So Get Lost is the choice for me. Marshal of Zhalfir is actually a really good lord. The fact that in most cases you don't want to attack with your lords into a board of creatures is already pretty apparent. So the fact that he has a reasonably costed good ability that helps us push through damage on top of pumping our team is awesome. Not to mention the fact that all of our knights are pretty evasive. The Knights of Grace and Knights of Malice both have First Strike. Knight of Dusk Shadow has Menace. Life Gain's also really popular right now, so having 4 cards in your deck that stop the opponent's life gain, pretty sweet. We're playing 2 Invasion of New Phyrexia because if we get flooded out a little bit, it's really nice to be able to just make a bunch of night tokens, and every once in a while flipping over the Teferi is useful if we need to draw cards, or we need an emblem, or we desperately need to exile something with his -3 ability. And then we've got 4 Virtue of Loyalty as a way to make a knight at instant speed. The knight has Vigilance, which is also quite nice with the 3 copies of Knight Errant of Eos in the deck. Knight Errant of Eos helps us draw some cards. Pretty self-explanatory. And then this later on can just grow our team and make sure that every turn we're getting pumped up. And then Banner of Kinship, like I mentioned earlier, this card is just bonkers. If you can get at least 2 or 3 knights on the field before you play this, it's huge, especially with all the First Strike and the Menace and everything and the lifelink from Elenda. It's great. And then in the land base, we've got 4 Secluded Courtyards and 4 Cavern of Souls because we do play 3 different colors of knights that need to be able to be played on turn 2, since we've got the White Knight, the Black Knights, and then Marshal of Zhalfir is blue-white. So it's very nice to be able to have those 8 lands that produce all 3 colors for our knights. We have a single copy of Fountain Port in the list to help us make treasures, or you know, if we need to play our larger cards, or make tokens, or draw cards, or just whatever we need. It's just a utility land that's really good in every deck, pretty much. And then a bunch of pain lands and fast lands and basic lands because we want as many untapped lands as we can. And then I believe we're only running, I'm running 24 lands. That actually might be too many. Maybe, no, it's not. 24 is fine because we're playing the Virtue of Loyalty and Banner. We want to be able to actually cast those cards. So 24 lands is fine. You could maybe get away with 23, but I would say that that's probably cutting it close. So anyway, we're going to put it through 40 games. We're going to see how it does on the ladder. Testing's been great. Let's get into it. Mercurio. Get it done. Show him the knights. Opponent's going first. I feel okay about this hand. We need some lands, but lanes for the opponent. Hinterland Sanctifier. All right. Dark Silk Shores is a good draw. Womp. Deep Cavern Bat. It's annoying, but I mean, we have a way to get rid of it. Take a get lost, yep. Hooray, we're drawing lands. We're doing the thing. Alright, Knight of Grace. Hexproof from black should prove quite useful against a deck that probably plays a lot of black removal. Alenda should also be quite difficult for them to deal with. Split Skin Doll, sure. Gain a life, draw a card. They can attack with their bat. They play a Plains and a Ruin Lurker bat. Alright, so they're just playing all the little dudes. All the life gain. You got it. Secluded Courtyard on Knight. Go ahead and get in with Knight of Grace. Opponent forgetting about first strike? Maybe? Opponent triple blocking. Interesting. It's really worth it to them. Like, all I have to do is get lost the Hinterland Sanctifier and they lose their whole board. Except for the bat, obviously. This seems like a very desperate move. Okay. Opponent is thinking better of it. Alright. Opponent loses one thing. That's fine. We'll get lost the Deep Cavern Bat at the end of their turn. Get our other Get Lost back. We'll play Alenda next turn. Get lost. Or they can't use the map tokens pre-combat. I'm sure they're going to use them now. Or Dewdrop Cure to snatch our Get Lost back. That's fine. Opponent's super cool over here. Gets a land with their first map token. Scries with the Ruin Lurker Bat. Puts it on top. That's not good for us. Alright, Cavern of Souls on Knight. Play Alenda, Saint of Dust. Get in for 3. The blocks. We're going to see a Starscape's Cleric Offspring here. That would be a problem. Land. Okay, well, at least they missed on both of their... I mean, them getting lands is bad for us, too, because that means they have more casting power, but... Oh, another bat. Hopefully they'll just take the Knight Errant, because we're not even really planning on convoking that. And that's the card that looks the scariest, because it can draw us cards. I'd rather have the Marshal, to be honest. They're smart. They took the Marshal. Well, they get in with those two. Go up to 30. We draw a land, of course. I'm just gonna play it without the convoke. There's no sense in wasting a turn attacking. I'm just trying to develop my board. Looks like the opponent might have another Dewdrop Cure in hand. Swamp. Hinterland Sanctifier, sure. We're gonna gain lots of life. They were touching their graveyard, so they obviously have something. Like Dewdrop Cure or Relive the Past or something. Are they just considering removal? Is that the issue? And they should have enough mana to do both. They have both. They're gonna draw a card off the Split Skin Doll anyway. They just move on and we draw another land. Hooray! I love it when we just draw lands. That's my favorite. Really? That's ambitious. All right. I don't think they realized that she was going to gain the power and toughness before the damage. Raise the past. Sure. That's a lot of life. I'm going to get lost. What's the biggest threat? I mean, I guess the Ruin Lurker Bat lets them scry every turn, so I'll get rid of that. There's a lot of life. We have a pretty decent board state, though, compared to theirs. So it's just a matter of attrition. Johnny's Pride Mate is a problem. We can tap that every turn, though. Not sure why they're bricking on whether they should map token or not. I mean, you probably should. Decided to put it on the rabbit, though. Another Raise the Past. That's obnoxious, because they can just block with everything and then do it again. Well, not a whole lot we can do about it. What are you doing, opponent? You just block with everything and relive the past again, right? Doesn't seem like a tough decision. Might as well stop them from getting it with their deep cavern bat. And their Johnny's Pride Mate's gonna be huge. If these triggers could happen faster, that would be great. Life Greed Duo on top. No reason for them to attack with the Sanctifier there. That was a mistake. Maybe they wanted to try. Do they really have another Relive the Past on in their hand? Like, are they that lucky? Wait, did they mess up again? 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, okay. We have another Elenda though, so it's okay. Alright. So if they don't have another Raise the Past, we're probably fine, because we can just tap this Adani's Pride Mate forever and ever. Land. That. Go ahead and tap the Pride Mate. Alright. And now we start the long trek to somehow coming back from this ridiculous game that we've played so far. Oh my gosh, can we please, please, please stop drawing lands? That would be so great. Please. I'm running 22 lands in this deck. We should not have this many. Alright, land for the opponents. Tap the Pride Mate. Oh, thank goodness. Now they can't gain life anymore. That's huge. No more life gain. Elenda's going to be a 10-10 now. Beautiful. Knight of Zalfir, man. That's a heck of a lord. You don't usually want to attack with your lords anyway, so giving your lord a relevant ability that's like not even that badly costed, super sweet. Tap the Pride Mate. My turn. Oh, now I can just get lost the Pride Mate. Let's go like this. 100 blocks and blocks. We're 44 now. Now we're the life gain deck. All right, we'll hold up Get Lost. We'll keep tapping the Pride Mate. Just that way, in case he draws something really good off the top, creature-wise, we have an answer. Boom! We just made it through 2 Relive the Past and like 60 or 70 life gain. Like, what? GG. I'm ready. Troubadour 37. Get it done. Opponent goes first. This is a decent hand. I'd like to be the one going first, but I can't complain too much. All the nights, all the nights. We are playing all the nights. Opponent is deciding whether or not to keep their hand. They take a mulligan. We will keep. They take another mulligan. All right. Colorless land as the first drop. All right, we're playing Adequar Wastes. What is the color of the deck? Black. Alright, Concealed Courtyard says we pass the turn and Virtue on their turn. Swamp. Duress. Alright, well, let's Virtue now. We're going to lose our Get Lost, but that's okay. Don't want to lose the Virtue of Loyalty. And that's probably going away. Yeah, it lived. Alright. Cool. Secluded Courtyard on Knight. Let's go ahead and play a Knight of Malice. Try to get in there with our Vigilant Knight. Beautiful. I just need one more land. Turn on this Virtue. That's frustrating. There's the land we need. So Knight of Dusk Shadow. Marshal of Zalfir. Let's go ahead and get in for 3. If the opponent doesn't have removal, they can't get past our Knight of Malice. And they need to get rid of Marshal and Knight of Malice, so... Bloodletter of Akelzad, sure. Does literally nothing at this point. So Cavern... on Knight. I kind of don't know what to do. I kind of want to... We have to be careful. I want to play Knight Errant, but... I feel like Virtue is the better play here. Right? And then we attack with Knight of Malice. Since he can't block it, and then everything gets counters. And then we got to take 4 from the Bloodletter, or maybe he just has land and the sorcery. Go for the Throat's annoying, but it's not the end of the world. If he has another removal spell, then that's frustrating. Go ahead and block. At least takes care of it for a couple of turns. Alright, we got Knight of Grace. Tap, tap. Knight Errant of Eos. Hopefully we'll find a couple more 2-drop knights. Find one. Good enough. We'll get in with the Knight of Dusk Shadow for 4. Down opponent's down to 7. Virtue untaps everything. We got another first striker down, and that one has hexproof from black, so they can't even kill that one. Knight of Grace is the bane of mono black decks. Unholy Annex, sure. We do unfortunately take some extra damage from that. The rest does nothing. That should be a GG. He can't gain life from the Unholy Annex, so. Draw the card. Oh, get lost. Nice. Boom. Get out of town with your mono black slasher deck. Knight of Grace, man. Well, I know Knight of Grace didn't technically win us that game by itself, but I mean, it was still pretty cool. Our wait is finally over. At the end of it, we found Dominus Dark. We get to go first. My favorite words. This is a good hand and we will keep it. Those are some more of my favorite words. I like saying words that make me happy. Alright, Seachrome Coast. Hello! Oh. Hired Claw. Alright, Secluded Courtyard. Right. Pass the turn. I imagine they're gonna attack. So I'm gonna flash this in now. I'm not gonna block with it, but maybe it'll force them to pump it now. Oh, they just have a burn spell. That's fine. And a Heartfire Hero. Oh no. Okay, well, Knight of Grace for the first strike. Mountain for the opponent. Did we lose our Knight of Grace? Mono Red's a tough matchup for us. They're just so fast and they have so many shock effects now. Rockface Village, sure, pumps it up. If they don't have a Monstrous Rage to go with it, then we're fine. They have to have a shock, right? No? Okay. Well, in that case, I don't know which to play, to be honest. I guess we play this because I don't want to lose the Marshal yet. Yeah, okay. So they had the answer if we played Marshal, so I'm glad that I did that way. But now the opponent can pump their Heartfire Hero out of our range. I'm just going all in. Do they have a fling effect? Swift Spear? Sure. Get Lost is good. We really need land, which is the frustrating part. Man. I can't just not... I have to get Lost it. It's a really bad feeling. If we'd drawn a land here, we would be in such good shape. Alright, so let's go ahead and get Lost it while its power is only 4. We take 4 to the face. The opponent can't do anything before... Oh, they did do it before combat. They're smart. That's frustrating. Can we please draw a land? I feel like if we draw a land, we might have hope. If we don't draw a land, we're in trouble. We're about to be at 4. We need a land. Oh my gosh! Not a land! We're dead. We're dead because we couldn't draw land. That's the most frustrating thing in the world. We're not dead. But we're in trouble. Oh, that's pretty much game. Land. I don't see a way out of this, unfortunately. Manifold Mouse on top, jeez. I mean, I have to double block it, right? Man, finally. I don't even know if that's enough to save us, though. Knight. It's not, because we have to... Manifold mouse, and we can still rock base village on top of it. Okay, yeah, we're done. GG, we tried. That was frustrating. 2,000. Kind of rhymes a little bit. Opponent's going first. We'll keep. It's a lot of Cavernous Souls. Opponent takes mulligan. We do need a blue source eventually to play this invasion, but I believe in us. Opponent mulligan to 5. It's mono red. Boy, is that 2 games in a row where our opponent has mulligan to 5 and it's been mono red? And they beat us last game, didn't they? Another Swift Spear. Concealed Courtyard, Knight of Grace. Can't risk the block, unfortunately. Do they just have a shock? Monstrous Rage? Okay. Well, I'm glad I was smart and didn't block. That would have been a waste of a block. Get lost. Another mountain. Frustration. They get their 3rd land. Take 2. We're down to 8. Alenda. Alenda's amazing. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Now we just need them not to have like a billion pump spells in their hand. Screaming Nemesis. Sure. That makes no sense. Why would you attack with your Swift Spear there? Dark Slick Shores means we can cast New Phyrexia next turn. Knight of Dusk Shadow. Boy, we just turned this game around. Hardcore. Boom. Alright. Made no sense for them to attack with their Swift Spear there. I would not have blocked Nemesis. But they basically gave me 4 free life with the Swift Spear. I think they just got excited because they thought that they had it somehow. But that was a big play mistake. I'm not one to talk. I make mistakes all the time. A braid. Opponent gets in for 4. We not block. Knight. Knight. We're going to play this for 1, 2, 3, 4. Make a bunch of knights. Get in for 6. Not going to waste time going after the invasion. That's not really why we play it. Like, it's nice to sometimes flip this. That's kind of annoying. Lightning Strike, but he can't play it. We've got lethal on board anyway, so. Oh, okay, now we have less lethal. He's gonna block Alenda with the Screaming Nemesis. Well, that's just the news. Can't block like that. Really? Thanks. That was awesome. Opponent's at 1. Opponent has to hit us for 4. We can gain life. Oh, they hit the knight. That's fine. That means we can still gain life. Not that we need it. Alenda saves the day. Yeah, I can't believe we almost lost to a mono red Mulda 5. I mean, they were on the play though, weren't they? So I mean, GG's. On to the next one. We found somebody. Dutch Courage. Sounds like some kind of alcoholic beverage. We get to go first. Hooray! This is a lot of lands. But I believe in us. I like the creatures we have in our hand so far, so I like our lands. We've got the colors we need to cast our non-creature stuff, and we have uncounterable Cavern, which seeing blue on the field makes me happy. It's also blue-black deck, so if we can ever find our other knight, it should be pretty hard to remove. This one, unfortunately, probably going bye-bye. Just had to have the wrong brother. Azure Beastbinder. Rats! Okay. I guess we'll play Marshall and get in for 4. Definitely annoying that he can basically turn off our Lord every turn. Opponent plays Undercity Sewers, keeps the card on top, gets in, turns off our Marshal. Persistent Marshstalker, that's fine. Cave of Koilos. Knight of Malice. Knight of Dusk Shadow. Get in. When they start drawing removal spells, that's when we're going to be in trouble. The Beastbinder's annoying, but it's not the end of the world. I'm more worried about Go for the Throats and stuff right now. I really wish... Tangled Colony. Another Marshstalker. I don't really care about those with our first strikers. Colony's annoying. And unfortunately, we can't block the Beastbinder. Seachrome Coast. Well, let's... Tap. Tap. Go like that. Let's look for Alenda. That's fine. Knight of Grace is really good. And now we have another Lord. This makes me feel a little bit better, because I can start tapping their stuff too. Opponent says good game. Alright, they're scooping it up. Nice! Rats do not beat knights. Knights get hired to kill rats. GG. We are playing against Villager. Villager 1A. We get to go first. Good hand. I will keep. Opponent takes a mulligan. We've got both knights, so if they're playing either white or black, we can decide which one to play first. I love these guys. They're so awesome. And I've been really impressed with Marshall Ozalfir. I mean, he's a good 2-mana lord, and he's got a good effect, so... Paint, color me impressed. Interland Sanctifier, great. So it's... Life gain. Let's name human here so that we can cast Urtai, because these are all humans too. So let us Play Knight of Grace, because they're more than likely playing black removal. Oh. Okay. Raise the Past. What are they playing? Interesting. We might be fast enough to beat this. So let's get Knight of Malice down. Get in for 3. Opponent wants to block, that's fine. And hopefully we draw another land. If we draw another land, we should be golden. Another Philology Archaeologist. Nil. There's a Gorehound in the graveyard now. They raise the Past back. We just need a land, and then we need to be able to counter that raise the Past when it comes up, and then we should be fine. We got 2 Urtais, so eaten alive is unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. When it gets in for 1. I'd really like another land, please. I don't think they'd raise the Past with just the 2 Archaeologists, but I could be wrong. We're about to find out. Nope, they play the Founding of the 3rd Pass, so they want to mill themselves some more. Another Gorehound, and Frontier Seeker. Thank goodness. What a saver. We can literally just attack with these 2 guys forever and ever. Urtai is so good. He's the only non-knight in the deck, but I'm so glad I included him. Because he's a counter spell that contributes to the board, right? So, alright, so he's going to exile the Raise the Past, copy it, pay the mana, Urtai Resurrected, puts more pressure on the board, counter, and we just got to do that again next turn, and we're good. Oop. Put the opponent down 2-5. Pass turn. Unless they have... Okay, tap land is great. That means they can't have... They don't have any kind of counter magic to deal with this. So raise the Past again. Urtai Resurrected again. Boom! Got there. Knights, baby. We are the knights who say me. It is time to battle Ombre Phoenix. Let us begin this war. Opponent's going first, and this is an unkeepable hand. This is better. We will put back Banner. Although I love Banner. Concealed Courtyard and Crawling Chorus. Okay. It's annoying that they're going to get the first Toxic in before we can do anything about it. I'm going to play Knight of Grace first. Bilious Skulldweller. And another Bilious Skulldweller. Oh, we have to play Knight of Grace. We actually don't have black mana right now, weirdly. Okay. That's the one we want anyway, because I highly doubt they have any... They're probably playing all black-based removal, so Knight will slowly eat away at their board. Caretaker's Talent, sure. Well, I'm not going to block your Crawling Chorus, if that's what you think. We're up to 3 poison already, unfortunately. Hey! Concealed Courtyard, nice. Yeah, I really want to get rid of this Caretaker's Talent. I think Knight of Malice is the right play here, though. That way we can marshal and get lost next turn. Well, they can make a Murex token here and draw a card, but I mean, that's their whole turn. They want to spend 4 mana to draw a card and make a token, that's fine with me. They level it up to level 2, which makes no sense. They just... forget that they don't have a token? Doll Maker Shop. Okay, so they're going to draw off that. But I get to block both these things now because they'll draw off the Doll Maker Shop, so now I don't care about blocking the chorus. And then we just get lost the Caretaker's talent next turn and we're fine. Their last card cut down, that would be annoying. If they can get rid of the Knight of Malice, then that complicates things at least a little bit. Alright, opponent gets in, draws a card, block. They get a token. Elenda is very good. I think our play here, though, is Marshal of Zolfir. And get lost Caretaker's talent so they can't keep drawing cards. And then we get in with Knight of Malice because that's the one that's vulnerable to removal. Keep back Knight of Grace. And Marshal of Zolfir can also just block the little Murex token. Unless he starts putting map counters on it. I probably shouldn't have poked those two things because now he's thinking of it. See, I make the mistake of showing you guys stuff and not realizing my opponent can see what I'm hovering over. Hopefully they don't see that line. Another Doll Maker Shop, sure. And a Dune Mover? What does that do? Gets a basic and puts it on top? I would think they would just not do that, right? Really? Oh, well, because they can... Could get annoying if they have if they draw the lands to start turning these porcelain galleries on. But we get to play Elenda. They don't attack weirdly. Okay, so Knight, Elenda. Actually, yeah, Elenda. Get in with Knight of Malice again. That's the one that's not vulnerable. Or that is vulnerable, sorry. Alright, opponent blocks with their Doll Maker Shop thing. Play land. They do have Dranithruum, which is annoying, because they can make their little tokens. Alright, they draw. Token on the Dune Mover, sure. Skull Dweller on top. I imagine they put that in the bin. They keep it on top, okay. They must have a land left in hand then. They get in, make 2 toys. We're gonna block with Elenda to gain the life. Knight of Grace. Tap like that. Knight Errant of Eos. Take the Knight of Dust Shadow. Get in. Get in, like that. Are choosing to block. I'm fine with losing Elenda. Gain the life, get a couple things off the board. They take 4. Now if they do decide to turn on the Dollmaker shop, which they can't this turn, they can pump up this Caretaker's talent. But that doesn't help them that much. Like, they're still in trouble. They have to attack this turn, which will make 2 Dollmaker shop tokens. They draw a card. What? That was a good draw. Okay. We're at 28. Let's say no, they have to block like 2 things at least. They have to block at least 2 things, which means Dollmaker's shop could at best make their stuff into 5/5s next turn. That was a great draw. Banner of Kinship, basically like Joda, but for regular stuff. Sorry for the allergies. Whew! Right in the nick of time. I mean, they can get rid of Knight Errant with the Ability of Skulldweller, but then they still need to block at least... No, they have to block so much. They have to block 3 things. I thought they only had to block 2. No, they have to block 4 things. I can do math, I swear. I'm just so excited. That was such an awesome draw. So they're left with Dune Mover. And we go to 5. We lose our Knight Errant Avios. They're left with a big board of stuff still. Now, thankfully, they can only make Murex tokens with their land, and they don't have Fountain Port. So they can't block with the Murex token. They can, if they want to make tokens with Dollmaker shops, they have to attack with Dune Mover, and we can tap something with Marshal of Zalfir if we have to. Ability of Skulldweller, sure. Crawling Chorus, sure. They're gonna use Dranath Ruins? I think they'd be better served to make a Murex token here, honestly. There we go. Alright, so they draw a card. We're not out of the woods just yet. Because they get 2 Dollmaker shop tokens, so we can't just... plow into them, unfortunately. Crawling Chorus on top. We get him with the Dune Mover, make 2 tokens. Knight of Grace. Tap the Skulldweller. Attack with these. Force them to block with all 3 things. They do get a token off the chorus though, which is annoying. And they can start turning on the Porcelain Galleries next turn. So we're still in a bit of trouble. But the fact that they are being forced to block every turn is huge. They get to draw an extra card because it happened on our turn, which is unfortunate. All we need is another Get Lost. Yep, okay, but that's their whole turn. Well, they can play Crawling Chorus also. They're gonna lose whatever creature they attack with. They attack with the things that they can't block with, which makes sense. We can only block one of them, so... That wasn't smart. They just gave up the game. Right? 9, 16, 24? I think they're one short. No, we're at 4 still. Yeah, that was it. That was the game. Tap this. Get in. Man, they actually could have possibly, like, outdone us. If they hadn't been greedy there. They just needed to attack. Like, it was smart to attack with the 2 mites because they can't block with them, but they should have held back the other 2. Especially knowing that my knight would live through the attack because of first strike. GG, opponent. That was a close game. Whew. Knights, baby. Tier 2. All right, and we're back for the post-game wrap. So 40 games, 60%. Nothing like crazy like 70% or anything like that, but 60% is 100% respectable, especially for a silly kind of like, this deck honestly started off as a meme. I just wanted to play Knights. I wanted to play Knight of Malice and Knight of Grace in a deck and have it be good. And the deck happened to be really good. And if you actually look at our matchups, like Mono Black, 4 and 3. Demir crushed them. Mono Red, you know, 50-50. It just depends on whether we're on the play or the draw, really. Golgari, another really popular color combination right now. Boom, out of here. Orzhov, out of here. Like, we did really well against a lot of the best matchups, even Blue-White Control. And most of our losses were, you see, we just played a whole mess of like one-off decks, you know, like one Domain deck and one Gruul deck and one Simic deck and things like that. So the big matchups, Mono Black, Mono Red, Golgari, Demir, those are the like 4 really big contenders in the format, and we posted decent results against all of those. So I think the deck is 100% viable. It's very cheap. Let's see. Get Lost is a rare, but you could replace this technically with any other uncommon removal spell. It's just Get Lost is probably the best option for this deck. But Knight of Grace, uncommon. Knight of Dusk Shadow, uncommon. Knight of Malice, uncommon. Knight Marshal of Zalfir, uncommon. There's no mythic. Okay, Virtue of Loyalty is a mythic. So Virtue of Loyalty, the one card you might have, but I mean, it's a pretty old card, so you probably have at least some of these laying around. And then the lands are probably okay. All right, it's a little more expensive than it looks, I guess. It's mostly lands though. Most of the creatures are uncommons or rares, but it's awesome. This is, if you like Knights, if you like that, if you're like me and you just really like that feeling of just, you know, Knights at the round table, for justice and valor, you know. Don't make fun of me. I know that was really lame. But regardless, if you like that kind of stuff, this is a fun deck. I had a really good time with it, and it felt really good against the important matchups. And none of the games that I lost did I feel like I was just getting crushed, you know. The deck has a lot of game, and it's got a lot of ways to come back. It's very resilient, and I like it. So I hope that you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed playing for you. I hope that you'll take a chance to try this out if you can. And if you take a quick moment to hit that like and subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it if you enjoyed the content, and I will catch you guys in the next one.